Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Running Temple podcast. And after last week's episode, I thought today would be a great time to talk about finding the motivation to run and how to deal with it when it dips. And this is something which I actually personally have struggled with over the years, as it is very difficult to stay consistent, but I think having certain methods to improve my motivation over the years has definitely helped my levels of consistency and also my overall enjoyment for running. But to be honest, no matter how much you love running, there are definitely mornings when you're far too comfortable at home and the weather's absolutely horrendous outside. It's raining, or even you're just not feeling up to it really, and that's actually perfectly normal. So today I want to talk about and also break down why motivation dips, and also how I personally have dealt with it, and also some tips you can use to keep you motivated, and it might help getting those runs done. So firstly, motivation, it does come and go, and it's certainly not a constant. So the natural perception from a lot of people is that runners are always excited to go on runs and getting out there, but everyone has days off, even the athletes do as well. But motivation, it does differ for different reasons. So number one is the physical fatigue. Maybe you're training too hard and all the sessions you're doing are catching up to you, and your body is just too tired to even consider going on that next run because you're just in agony. And that's why it's super important to not burn out and take your training just nice and steady. Make it manageable for yourself, so you're not doing too much at a certain time and burning out. As I previously found as well, it will take you longer to recover and actually want to start running again. So number two is the mental fatigue. You may have stresses from work, family stress, and just total burnout, but your mind, it's that busy, it haven't even considered running, as an option. But that's where on the flip side, you can turn running into a coping mechanism for those fatigues. And number three is you may have a lack of goals. Running might feel aimless, and if you don't know why you're out there and running and what you're working towards, then I understand the struggles. And that's why I would highly recommend consistently making new goals to try and aim for. And that's actually something that I also help people with at the Running Temple. So please don't feel like you're the only one who struggles with motivation, because we all do and we all have. We're only human at the end of the day. So there's some ways where I've used in the past to help me, and I actually currently use now to keep me motivated, to keep on running and just staying consistent even when I don't really feel like it and just can't bother sometimes. So number one is remembering my why. So for me, running, it's not just an exercise, it's my therapy, and it's my happy place. It keeps me healthy, it keeps me active, it's proof that I can set a goal, follow it through to try and achieve it, and potentially achieve it. And when I remind myself of that, it's it does make things a lot easier to get out the door and just go for a run. Number 2, I would say, is just set small term goals. Training for a marathon, it is exciting, but it's months away. You could be doing it for 12, 14 or 16 weeks. So sometimes I just focus on my next run. For example, I'll just set myself a goal of just running the 5k today. And when I get back from a run, I'm always so glad that I did it, because I always feel so much better, and I'm so relieved that I went out there and did it. And also make it sociable. If I know a friend who's waiting for me to go on a run, I will show up and go on that run with them. We'll have a nice catch up and enjoy running. I enjoy running in their company. And having the ability to meet up with others it's amazing, and I definitely recommend it to keep you motivated as well. Because running with others, it adds accountabilities. You've made that commitment to see them and go on a run with them, and it's also really, really fun whilst you're doing it. And finally, number 4, I would say, is changing the scenery. Running the same route every day, it does get boring, and it's not really particularly exciting, but a new route changes things up, and it makes things interesting for you. I do that, and it keeps me engaged as well, and I'm seeing different sites, and changing up each time, I think, does keep me motivated, because I'm seeing these new routes all the time, so I'm keeping things different. So if you're struggling with motivation right now, here's a few things that you can try potentially this week to try and help you and improve your motivation. So create or join a challenge. Even a simple 10-day streak or mileage goal can help you. Shift your mindset. Instead of asking, do I feel like running? Ask yourself, how will I feel after the run? And what will the benefits of actually going out on that run feel like? Track your wins. Log in your miles and your runs on an app, or even just getting a pad and paper and just writing it down, so you can see your progress and what you're doing at that time. I actually personally use an app called Strava. It's brilliant because it shows my actual distance and time, and it's got like a little graph of my route, and it gives me all my stats as well. So I love it. And lastly, just be flexible. Remember, if you miss a run, it's not a failure. It happens. It's life. Just aim for consistency. Really, no one's perfect, and just take it one step at a time. Really, because it's so important to not do a lot at a time and burn out. So by slowly increasing it and taking those small wins by going out, it does really, really help. So I think that's a good place to wrap this episode up. Thank you again for listening. Another episode of the Running Temple podcast. I can't believe I've already put 5 episodes out now, which is it's just flown by, to be honest. And I'm loving doing the podcast for you guys and seeing the feedback and the comments. It's really rewarding, actually. And I've actually got some good news. So where I work at David Lloyd, I'm actually starting a run club, which is quite exciting for the members. So it'll be on a Thursday at 7:30, and that'll be a 10k around the area. And then Sunday morning at 7:30, it'll be a 5k, and then potentially we'll do the 5k and then have some breakfast in the club, which is really exciting. And seeing members already sign up, and it coming into fruition it's just amazing. So everything's possible with the Running Temple, and we'll, like you, doing the runs step by step. We're going out of our comfort zone step by step. So thank you for listening. Next week's episode is going to be a guest episode, and it's going to be a good one. So stay tuned, keep up to date with all the socials, and I will see you shortly.